back to my channel and welcome to my 2018 Face Awards entry. This is now just New Zealand only, so I'm really excited about this year. I've created a demon elf hybrid who prefers to walk amongst the light and bathe in the beauty of her inner elf. So there's a few elements to this look, so let me show you how I created this. Right, so the first thing that we need to do is we need to disguise or camouflage our eyebrows. So doing this, I'm going to take some non-toxic just glue stick. I know some artists do prefer the purple tinge that dries clear so they can see when it's dry, but I just used what I had. And then taking a spoolie, you want to comb the eyebrow hairs back. This is such an important step. I wasn't doing this step to begin with. Couldn't figure out why it wasn't working for me, so learnt this step and now I've got it under control. So really brush them the way the hair is going to get them flat. Now for the prosthetics, I actually created my own prosthetics for this look, and I did that using just a air drying molding clay. So I molded the pieces that I wanted and then covered those in liquid latex and just filled them with some cotton wool so it helped keep their shape. So that's how I created those. There's plenty of tutorials online if you're wanting to see how to sort of work with latex. Latex is so much fun to work with. I super recommend giving it a go. So those are the pieces that I'm going to be attaching. So now I want to take a spirit gum and you want to place this on the skin as well as placing it on the latex itself, so you get a really good bond happening. And when you put this down, try and lay it as flat to your skin as you possibly can. I did get a couple of lumps which I wasn't too happy with, but I just had to work with it, and you can fix up a little bit of errors with liquid latex afterwards. So just placing those down. I also covered these in like an iridescent sort of like confetti kind of stuff which went everywhere. So back to the eyebrows. Now I'm going to be using my finger just to really flatten them down. Dust them with some translucent powder. You can use like a talcum powder, you can use translucent powder, whatever you've got handy. And then we're going to literally keep repeating these steps until we get a really good coverage on those eyebrows. So glue stick, let it dry, pack it down with your finger, powder, and just keep repeating these steps. So while I was waiting for my eyebrows to dry, I carry on through with my prosthetics. So I finished gluing them to my face. So spirit gum on the skin, spirit gum on the latex piece itself, and then gently just press it down and try and get it as flat as possible. Don't worry too much though, because we can use, like I say, the liquid latex to help sort of seal it and blend it in a little better. So I created 6 pieces for this look. And then by the time I've done this, then my eyebrows are nice and dry, so then I can go and put another coat on them again. And some of these stages are really repetitive. This look is, you're doing things over and over and over to make sure that, you know, you get a good base. So now what I'm doing is I'm taking liquid latex on my finger. I normally do this with a sponge, hate it with a sponge. Learn how to do it with a finger, much prefer a finger. So just dab a little bit on your finger and just stipple it around the edges. I really like using my finger actually because you can actually feel where it needs it most. So you can feel the edges, you can feel where you really need to build it up. So doing this with every single prosthetic piece that I have on my face, I'm literally just going to go around and do that. This is another step that we're going to be doing over and over and over until we've got it flat and we're happy with it. So now moving on to my Scalwax nose. So taking your spirit gum again and putting that on the skin in the area that you want to stick the Scalwax to. Make sure that your fingers are wet when you're working with the Scalwax, so keep a little container of water nearby. It just makes things a lot easier. And I'm just molding this to my nose. This is also another very time consuming part of this step, but I did really like how it turned out. So I just take some like clay tools to help smooth down edges. And this is something that definitely is, I'm going to need practice doing. Definitely wasn't perfect, but it's really, again, fun to work with. It's just a different medium. So now I take the liquid latex and using my finger again, I'm just going to put a few coatings of liquid latex over the Scalwax and blending that into my skin. This helps to sort of harden the Scalwax so you can actually put, you know, makeup and body paint and things on top of it. So now going back to the eyebrows, now I'm taking a matte orange eyeshadow and I'm just applying that to the area of my eyebrow hairs, just to help colour correct it a little bit and help disguise it a little bit more. After that, I'm going to take a really full coverage concealer and I'm just popping that over top of my eyebrows as well. And that starts looking a little strange, and of course once that's finished you powder those. And now we're ready to move on to body paint. So white is very hard to make opaque, so again another step that needed layer upon layer upon layer upon layer to really get a good coverage and to get it really as opaque as possible. So I take this down across my chest and down my arms and my shoulders. I kind of alternated between using a brush and using a sponge, so I just kind of alternated between the two. I found the brush was better for larger areas. So now working with a light pink body paint, I'm now just dabbing on this on sort of the contour areas and the areas that I want to accentuate with the pink. So I kind of wanted to create a wee bit of like a pink sort of halo effect on her skin. And now going over with some powders. So eyeshadow, I go over with numerous different shades of eyeshadow, pink, purple eyeshadow, and I'm just going on top of those same areas that I just put the pink body paint down, just to, yeah, again accentuate areas and give her sort of like an otherworldly glow, an inhuman glow. Another thing that you want to remember when you're doing things like this is contrast is key. So the more contrast that you can actually get in your shading or in your look, the better it will turn out. So now we are going on to eyes. So eyes I kept really simple because there is a lot going on in this look as it is. So just taking those pinks again, I just create definition underneath the eyes. I kind of change the nose bridge shape a little bit just to again make her feel like she's like a little bit human but not. And so now it's time for my eyebrow pieces. So these are just like pre-made stick-on jewels, which I also use spirit gum for because the adhesive on it wasn't good enough. This is actually going on like above my natural eyebrow, so my actual natural eyebrow is kind of where that pink line is, so disguise them pretty well. Just finishing up the finishing touches, mascara, lashes. That always looks so painful, doesn't it? So onto lips now. I just chose just a pink. I just wanted to keep it really monotone. So now I get some more body paint and I just want to create just some more definition around my spikes and around the horns and things. So I kind of just like willy-nilly paint different shades on. So I've gone with more of a lilac purple for this one. Again, just trying to keep it in the same sort of color family. Now with my chest piece, so I kind of just trace out where the chest piece needs to be first, and I also trace out, I do like a kind of a body bust piece as well, so I trace out the areas of that and then get started painting. So this wasn't like really specific, like I kind of just wanted like kind of like a starburst kind of shape, which actually ended up sort of looking like it was kind of coming out of her skin. To glue the bits onto my chest, I again just used glue stick and this weird confetti, holographic confetti, and just stuck it to my skin. Again, spirit gum. I used a lot of spirit gum in this look. And just put that on my chest. And then continued with body painting. So I added some like little like frilly details along the top of the bust piece, and just tried to make it kind of look a little bit like an article of clothing, which it wasn't. And now, again, this is where I talk about contrast. Get contrast in your looks. So I take darker shades. I've already got white, so I've already got my highlights of the chest piece. Then I take like a black and I even go in and just create more definition. Make it look like it's sort of actually coming out of the skin, which I was really proud of, actually, by the time that I had finished it. And now it's time to get that wig snatched, so just popping on my accessories now. So ears, these were pre-made ears. I actually made this crown deer piece myself, and so I popped that on, and I think my contacts are in now. And then I just pop on a couple of extra of these little pre-made butterflies just to pretty up the look a little bit more. And that is virtually my entire look. So that's how I did it. I hope you guys really enjoyed watching this. I enjoyed making this so much. I drew a lot of inspiration from Color Creep and Bethany Faye. Oh, I'm just huge fans of their work. And yeah, so I'm really proud of this. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please give it a like, subscribe, and hopefully you'll be seeing me, hopefully, in the next round of the Nyx Face Awards. Thanks, guys.